Well, hello. Welcome to Ravensdale Bible Academy. And what a journey it's been for us to get to this point. My wife and I began the education journey back in 2005, beginning with our own children. And we've come a long way. We've not only homeschooled individually, each of our 5 children, we've also been involved in private Christian school. We've also been involved in homeschool co-ops. And so over the past 15 years, we've really developed a passion for distinctly Christian education. And the only way for Christian to be distinctly Christian is it has to be distinctly biblical. And so that's why we're here. We began by trying to fill the void or fill the gaps that either public school or even a private Christian school doesn't provide. And those gaps are very simple. They're 2 things. One, critical thinking. We need our children to be able to distinguish between right and wrong, to be able to discern between biblical and unbiblical, especially in this challenging world. And we need our children to understand that all truth comes from the scriptures, the holy word of God. And so we need to be biblical. And so with those two key components of education, we want to train our children to be biblical. And then we want them to use critical thinking skills. And so they will not succumb to the vain philosophies of the world. We understand that in this day of age, that every family has to go about education a little bit differently. Maybe you have 2 parents that are working. Maybe you have one working, but one can't homeschool 5 children at one time. Some can afford private Christian schools, some can't. Some are doing homeschooling, some can't. We know that there's a lot of different options. And so our desire is to partner with you, to partner by bringing you distinct Christian electives. We know that there's already programs out there for reading, writing, arithmetic, math. We know there's some very good programs that will do that. But what about developing critical thinking skills? And so part of my story is realizing and working with children all my life, whether it was in sports, at church, or at school, was that students and kids really have a hard time processing the information. They understand how to repeat what's been told to them or parrot what their parents or Bible teacher or even pastors have said. But are they able to work through that process? This is why so many of them grow up, go to secular university, or move out of the home, and then so quickly depart from the foundation which they grew up in, because they never really learned how to process information biblically. And so, we have a couple problems. That's one of the problems. The other problem is, and I realize most of our children within the church are going to go to either public school or secular university. That means that they're spending hours upon hours listening to non-believers, listening to the wisdom of the world. And we need to combat that. A church can't just take in a student for a half an hour a week and expect to rival the hours upon hours that our children are getting in kindergarten through 12th grade and then onward to college. And so we've got a problem. And the problem is so many Christian families have been indoctrinated by the secular world. I think about the Israelites when they finally fled Egypt, when they broke free from the bondage of slavery. And they went into Canaan. And you know what wasn't in Canaan? A good Hebrew school district, a good homeschool curriculum online. And so the Israelites did not put their children on buses and ship them back to Egypt to go learn from the pagans. And yet I see that we, in essence, do that every day here in America. Psalm 1 is very clear. It's our foundational principle. Psalm 1 says, do not stand in the path of wicked. Do not walk in the way of the sinner. Don't sit in the seat of mockers. But instead, our delight is in the law of the Lord, and we will meditate on his law day and night. That way, We will be like trees firmly planted by streams of water that will yield fruit, that will yield positive fruit, that will yield character, that will yield discernment and understanding in season. But not so. Those who don't study the word, they will be like leaves. They will be like leaves that wither in season, that will blow away like the chaff. And the scriptures say, finally, therefore, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. And we don't want that. And so we wanted to offer curriculum, distinctly biblical curriculum taught by faithful people, by Christians who are using the Bible to teach our students. We offer electives. I'm so excited. These electives I've been developing for 15 years with my own children. They've been tried and tested with other students. And so they're classes that I know that you want. I know that children want. They're classes like, don't tell me 5 steps to praying. Show me how to pray. And so we've got an exciting class. It's called Prayer Warrior, where we actually go through real life prayers throughout the whole Bible, starting in the Old Testament. We see how the man of God, how the woman of God actually goes boldly before the throne. We want to take a look at social and political issues. So we want to look at the political party platform and not look at that as a Democrat and not look at that as a Republican, but look at that as a Christian. What does the Bible say about this subject? What does the Bible say about pop culture? I've been in business for most of my life, and so I've had the opportunity to write a couple books that are sales books or books that will help you to continuously improve, called Do Better. And so we have a program that will help not only adults but students to do better in whatever it is that they do, whether it's school, whether it's spiritually, whether it's sports. We have classes that will teach you how to study the Bible, so that you know the Bible study methods. We have another class that looks at the mercy mission of Jesus Christ, so that we know how to live, how to serve the widow, the orphan, the poor. I have an introduction class to marriage, because you know what? By the time you get to 20 years old and you're in love, it's kind of too late. We need to know what we're looking for in a marriage beforehand. And so we've got several classes. Please take a look online at our different courses. We're constantly adding to our elective schedule, so please take a look. And then finally, once again, look, it's our prayer that your children have not only the knowledge of Jesus Christ, but more importantly, a relationship with Jesus Christ. And so we want to help set that course here at Ravensdale Bible Academy. We want to partner with you, the parent. You're the parent, and we're not here to really replace the parent. We're not even here to replace a private Christian school or a homeschool. We're here to partner and to add to whatever it is that you already might be doing with your curriculum or educational program. And so welcome again to Ravensdale Bible Academy. I look forward to seeing you soon.